Vlog every day in August. Nothing rhymes with August. Hey, hi, hello. So I'm filming outside in front of our bookcase today because, in case you can't hear, they're constructing behind our building, painting and stuff. So I thought, well, I'll come out here because it's a little less noisy, and also because it's kind of nice to have a different background every once in a while. Today, my grandma is going in to have surgery done on her ears. She's going to have tubes put in her ears because she's been having hearing difficulties lately and balance difficulties. I cannot hear in my right ear at all. Completely wiped out. Like, I can't hear the air going beside it. I can't hear snaps, except I can hear it on this side. I've been deaf in this ear for as long as I can remember. The earliest recollection of being deaf in that ear was when I was about 5 and I was on the phone with my grandpa in Alabama, and I tried to change ears to, because my ear was getting tired and my hand was getting tired, so I tried to change ears, and when I changed ears I couldn't hear him. I'd miss stuff, but I was too shy to say anything. Being too shy to say anything was a continuing story with my hearing, because I used to lie on those hearing tests that you would have in school and raise my hand whenever it had been quiet for too long so that the lady wouldn't think that there was something wrong. I thought that if I didn't hear the sound and raise my hand, I was going to get in trouble. And I continually lied all the way up until I was 15 and we had the tests in high school. And I finally said, you know what, I'm not going to lie, I'm just going to tell the truth. So I sat there with the headphones on, and it kept coming up on this side, so I was like, okay, I hear it. And then there was like long silence with me just sitting there like, and the lady was sitting at the desk kind of with her pen at the ready, like, oh dear. Sure enough, I got a note sent to my parents' house a few days later that said I needed to probably get glasses because the vision was a little messed up as well, and also I had hearing problems. I had deafness on that side because I had a fever when I was 2 that potentially could have completely wiped out everything in my inner ear. When I get older, this ear is going to deteriorate and I'm probably going to go deaf eventually. Like, I don't think the tubes in my ears, which is what they're doing to my grandma, would really help me. Thankfully, I've got perfect hearing in this ear. I mishear lyrics all the time. I embarrass myself constantly. There's a Mountain Goats song where it's called the Marduk t-shirt incident, and he says stray syllables were gurgling in the song, and all this time I thought it was stray syllables for Goethe, and I thought it was like, oh cool, a Goethe reference. No, they'll make fun of me for it. My family used to call me George Bailey when I was growing up. First of all, because they didn't believe that I was deaf. They thought I was making it up until the doctor actually said, no, she seriously can't hear. But they used to call me George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life. But anyway, long story short, I'm deaf. A lot of people have said that I talk on one side of my mouth more than the other. I don't really ever notice that, but you might notice that. And that's just because I'm lopsided. I could never play telephone when I was a kid. I would hear on this side, and I wouldn't hear it at all, but I'd be pretending, because it was back before I was brave enough to admit that I couldn't hear. So I'd be pretending to hear it, and then I would make something completely new up and whisper that. So I was always the reason that the telephone message was not right. I hope my grandma's surgery goes well. I was telling her on the phone the other night, I know how that feels. I know how it goes to be having hearing problems, but mine's permanent. At least she can get hers fixed, and that did seem to make her feel a little better. But I'm not alone. Jane Lynch from Glee can only hear in one ear. Rob Lowe can only hear in one ear. So far, there's not really anything they can do about it, although I think cochlear implants are possible. The only thing is, I've heard that if you get a cochlear implant, it never sounds quite right. It sounds kind of robotic. And it's also really expensive, so I'm not really too worried about it. I've been getting by okay. It's just, I'm a little worried about when I get old, but aren't we all worried about when we get old? So.